Welcome everyone to the Explainer. Today, we're setting the stage for an exclusive, highly structured tour of what is arguably the most breathtaking and fiercely guarded paradise in all of Hindu mythology. We're drawing directly from the ancient verses of the Mahabharata to decode a truly incredible scene. We're going to explore exactly what it looks like, sounds like, and feels like to step inside a celestial realm that literally only the most elite beings in the universe are ever allowed to enter.
Okay, let's dive into this. Imagine, just for a second, the most beautiful, exclusive paradise in the entire universe. A place where the air itself is perfumed, and gods are just walking the streets. But what exactly does it take to get past those cosmic gates? Think of this as the ultimate celestial velvet rope. Who actually gets in, and who gets turned away? Today, we're going to pull back that velvet rope and look at the strict criteria, the mind-bending visuals, and the awe-inspiring welcoming committee that awaits those deemed worthy.
All right, Section 1, inside Indra's celestial city, and man, what a sensory wonderland this is.
To really get a feel for this, we're following the mortal warrior Arjuna. Basically, he's our VIP pass. In the text, when Arjuna steps into the celestial gardens called Nandana, it is an absolute, overwhelming sensory overload. I mean, this isn't just some quiet little garden. It's a bustling, vibrant, multidimensional hub of divine activity. The source tells us he's fanned by the fragrant breezes charged with the farina, which is pollen, of sweet-scented flowers. The sacred trees are blooming with the flowers of every single season all at once. It's almost as if the trees themselves are welcoming him. But, and here's the wild part, it's not just pristine nature. Right next to these blooming trees, the text describes highly advanced celestial technology. It mentions celestial cars by thousands, capable of going everywhere at will, stationed in proper places. He literally sees tens of thousands of these flying cars zipping around in every direction. It's this incredible, almost sci-fi level blend of lush natural beauty and cosmic technology.
Moving on to Section 2, the ultimate cosmic velvet rope. Because this place has the strictest door policy you can imagine. You know, you can't just buy a ticket to see this place. Despite the lavish beauty and those endless thousands of celestial cars, Indra's city is absolutely locked down. It's a region for the virtuous alone, and that brilliantly illustrates the strict ancient Vedic moral code governing this universe. The text creates a very hard split for humanity. First, you've got the worthy. You literally cannot even behold this place unless you've gone through extreme ascetic austerities, poured libations on fire, or performed major sacrifices. It's strictly reserved for brave warriors who never turn their backs in battle, deeply knowledgeable Vedic scholars, and those who've bathed in sacred waters. Then on the flip side, you have the band. Who gets rejected at these cosmic gates? Well, cowards, disturbers of sacrifices, drunkards, eaters of unsanctified meat, violators of their preceptors' beds, and just generally wicked people. It's a flawless, uncompromising filter. And Arjuna, being a warrior of white deeds, has officially passed the test.
Section 3. The Pantheon greets Arjuna. This is a legendary welcome.
Because Arjuna made the cut, he gets a reception that is nothing short of legendary. He's guided down this massive starry way called Sudavidhi, so think of this as the celestial red carpet. Now, who's actually throwing this welcome party? As Arjuna walks, he's praised by Apsaras and Gandharvas. Apsaras are these stunning celestial dancers who actually have a very specific cosmic job involving ascetics, which we'll get to in a minute. And the Gandharvas are the divine musicians. As they cheer and reverence Arjuna, the text notes he hears the majestic music of conchs and drums just echoing all around him.
And just wait till you hear how this builds, because the guest list waiting on that starry way is staggering. We aren't talking about a few minor angels here. The text just rattles off an overwhelming scale of cosmic VIPs all showing up to honor him. He meets the Sadhyas, the Viswas, the Marutas, the Adityas. He greets the twin Ashwins, the Vasus, the Rudras, the great Brahmarshis, and even royal sages with Dilaba leading them. He even meets specific famous Gandharvas named Tumvura, Ha-Ha, and Hu-Hu. The sheer scale of this assembly really goes to show the immense respect the heavens have for Arjuna's earthly achievements. It's a huge deal.
Section 4. A divine father-son reunion. It's time to meet Indra.
So, after greeting this massive universal pantheon, the tone totally shifts. It goes from this epic scale to a profoundly intimate human moment. Arjuna finally approaches the chief of the celestials, the god of 100 sacrifices, the slayer of hostile heroes. He approaches his father, Indra. The text breaks down this reunion into these beautifully tender steps. Remember, Indra is seated in ultimate, unmatched majesty. He's got a beautiful white umbrella with a golden staff held over him. He's being fanned with a perfumed chamara. Bards are chanting hymns, the whole shebang. Yet, when Arjuna approaches and salutes him by bending his head to the ground, Indra doesn't act like a distant, untouchable deity. Not at all. He embraces Arjuna. He takes his hand and literally makes him sit beside him on his own sacred seat, a seat worshipped by gods. Then, in a really moving gesture, Indra smells the head of Arjuna in humility and pulls his groaned warrior son right onto his lap.
No, what I think is absolutely fascinating here is the physical detail the text gives us. Indra is consoling Arjuna, touching his face, and then we get this incredible contrast. Indra is patting and rubbing Arjuna's huge arms with his own hands, which bore the marks of the thunderbolt. And he's rubbing Arjuna's arms, which the text says resembled golden columns and were hard in consequence of drawing the bowstring. I mean, what a stunning visual, right? The god's hands, scarred by literal cosmic lightning, gently rubbing his mortal son's arms that are heavily calloused from years of pulling a heavy bow in earthly battles. It's just beautifully written.
Indra just couldn't stop looking at him. With his eyes expanded with delight, the more he gazed at his son, the more he wanted to gaze. And seated there together, they enhanced the beauty of the whole assembly. The Mahabharata uses this amazing poetic metaphor to describe them, like the sun and moon beautifying the firmament together on the 14th day of the dark fortnight. Seated on Indra's throne, Arjuna literally began to blaze in splendor like a second Indra.
Finally, Section 5. The Enchanting Celestial Dance. A truly mesmerizing finale.
But hey, the welcome isn't over just yet. As father and son sit together, this mesmerizing, highly calculated spectacle kicks off. And the crucial takeaway here is that this performance wasn't just standard entertainment. It actually reveals the very specific function of these celestial beings. A band of Gandharvas starts singing, and thousands of Apsaras begin to dance. The text names the absolute elites: Hritachi, Menaka, Ramba, Urvasi, Misrakasi, and so many others. We get their physical descriptions: eyes like lotus leaves, slim waists, enticing glances. But look at what their purpose is. The text explicitly states they are employed in enticing the hearts of persons practicing rigid austerities. As they perform and cast these glances around, they're exhibiting attitudes specifically capable of stealing the hearts and resolutions and minds of the spectators. It's a magnificent display, for sure, but it's also a stark reminder of the constant tests of virtue that are present even inside heaven itself. So from the thousands of flying cars and fragrant breezes, to the incredibly strict moral code, all the way to the tender reunion of a thunderbolt-wielding father and his bow-wielding son, Indra's heaven is clearly a place of rigorous standards and unparalleled wonder. Which brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with in this explainer. Knowing the ancient, rigid code required to enter this paradise, where cowards and the wicked are banned outright, and where ultimate virtue, unflinching bravery, and sacred knowledge are the only currencies accepted, would you make it past the celestial gates?